In the 18th century, tea was so expensive that it was kept under lock and key. Today, it is an accessible and popular drink with high social and feel-good factors. Its value has changed over time. With tea as our benchmark, we will investigate the changing value of 10 stocks or things over this time, with reference to key moments where pandemics have struck the United Kingdom or affected Bideford in particular. The Pansy value number is made up of 4 totals: the functional value, or how well a thing does what it's designed to do, the affordability value, or how easy it is to pay for a thing, the social value, or how much a thing enables people to connect together, and psychological value, or how much a thing allows people to feel better. Let's talk about tea. Tea scores 10 out of 10 for function, as it's a refreshing pick-me-up. It's highly affordable, as it can be purchased at 1.8p per bag, so it scores 10 there. It has a strong connectivity and a high feel-good factor, making 10 out of 10 for both of those. The resulting value is 40. How has the Pansy value of tea shifted over time? In our graph, the vertical axis shows the progression of time, and the horizontal axis shows the Pansy value from 0 to 40. In 1717, the first tea house selling China tea was opened in London by Thomas Twining. Tea was expensive and exclusive, but we can see the affordability steadily climb. By the early 19th century, it was cheaper than beer. Its social value grew. In 2020, 100 million cups of tea are drunk in the UK every day, priced as low as 1.8p per tea bag, and the top Pansy value of 40. Let's look at 3 more things: toilet roll, flour, and beer. All 3 things are highly functional, and while toilet paper and flour peaked in price recently due to stockpiling, the price of beer has been rising over recent years. Beer scores less due to the closure of pubs in lockdown and because beer can make people a little too sociable. Toilet roll has an affordability incline from its invention in 1879. The value increases with quality. In the 1930s, one brand was advertised as splinter-free, while 2-ply was introduced in 1942. A recent downturn is due to environmental impact, using 27,000 trees every day. Flour is steady, with dips in the 19th century when bad harvests and a growing population caused sharp price rises. Flour dipped in pandemics when breaking bread together could exacerbate infection, excepting HIV, which is not spread through touching. Beer is generally high, falling over time, with frequent adulteration in the 19th century and increased chemical content in the 20th. The present dip is due to the increased closure of pubs and the risk of beer causing too much sociability. Let's look at our next 3 things: haircuts, hand sanitizer, and the face mask. Psychological values are high across the board. Haircuts have dropped in function and affordability as they can't be had. Hair growth and hand sanitizers are both antisocial with an effect in value. The face mask, like tea, achieves a full 40 Pansy total. Haircuts are steady, impractical and unaffordable for most until the 17th century, when the professional hairdresser was born. In 1660, Charles II started a wig fashion, causing a decline for 90 years. There is a steady increase in accessibility, with a blip in the 1950s due to sewn-in hair weaves. Hand sanitizer was first produced in 1966, with a steep general incline from there. In February, sales increased by 255% and demand increased price. A bottle of Defendal hand gel retailing at £3.49 was sold for £110 on Amazon. Beak masks have an iconic association with the plague, and surgical masks see a steady increase from their invention in the 1860s. In April, amidst concerns that civilians could deplete clinical stocks, people across the country started sewing, including volunteers from Oxfam Bideford and teachers from Bideford College. Ooh. Let's look at our last 3 things: the meter, gloves, and clapping. The function of clapping is undermined by gloves, while disposable surgical gloves have risen in financial and environmental cost. While the meter has no inherent financial value, it has an impact on both business and sociability. The meter was invented in France in 1791. It only became an official measurement in Britain in 1965, and while resistance to metric has endured, the meter has come into its own now, despite its impact on business and sociability. While there is inherent functionality around cleanliness with the glove, they were mainly the preserve of the rich until the 19th century, after which they became more widely valued, until a sharp downturn in glove wearing after World War II. Sterilised gloves were invented in 1894. Spontaneous clapping is valued in societies that operate relatively freely or where connectivity between people is high. During the Reformation, Oliver Cromwell's Commonwealth, and the Victorian era, clapping was not favoured. Due to an inability to connect in other ways, clapping has reached a new high. In summary, the top pantsuit ratings see tea and face masks with the highest value, followed by gloves, clapping and flour, although these are to some extent counteractive. At the bottom of the table we have haircuts, although we expect these to see a rise soon. Some may wish to see beer make a full recovery. They will have to act fast and get drinking, although we advise valuing the meter at all times. Thank you very much for watching.